Welcome to Baby Loss Talk. I am your host, Janelle Adams, a fellow baby loss mom who created the show to help remove the stigma, shame, and loneliness of losing a pregnancy or infant by sharing real stories, advice, and resources. Welcome to another episode of Baby Loss Talk. Today we have Tamara, who's going to be sharing her story of loss, her healing journey, and a little bit about her. So, Tamara, go ahead and take it away. Tell us about you.
All righty. Well, I'm Tamara. I have a 10-year-old son, and I have my angel baby, Lily J, who passed away almost 7 months ago. I am a bookkeeper for the school district here, and I also have my own business, Treats by Tamara, if you need any party planning or anything. and this year I am the Promise Walk for Preeclampsia chairman for Beaufort. This is the first year that we've had the Promise Walk in Beaufort, so that's pretty exciting. That's just a little bit about me.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing that. So of course, the show is about our baby loss journeys. If you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and just share your story, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, well, my son was 9, and it was just me and him for the longest. And then I met Jay, and he just fit right in. Like, he was a part of us. Him and my son clicked. It was just amazing. He's everything that my son needs in a male like figure. That's what Jay was for us. So awesome. We've been together for 3 years at this point. And I wasn't expecting to have a baby. I wasn't expecting. I was on birth control. I wasn't expecting this. So one day I was just on my lunch break, and me and my aunt, we always go to lunch together, and he FaceTimed us, and he was like, "What are y'all doing? You know, we're just joking." And he's like, "Did you find your friend yet?" I was like, "You know, you're right. I don't know what happened to my friend."
Isn't it weird how they know?
Like, right. So I wasn't worried. I wasn't thinking about it until he said that.
Yeah.
So we were looking at each other like, maybe we should get a test while we're out. So we got a test, and when I went back into the office, I took the test right at work.
Oh, wow.
And it was positive. So I was very shocked, and I didn't really believe it. And so I went to urgent care after work. And I didn't want to go in there and say like, "Oh, I think I'm pregnant." So she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I think I have a stomach virus." So she, they gave me the test, and they put me in the room. And before they even came back in the room, I heard the doctor tell them, the nurse, like, "Yeah, she has a stomach virus, all right." She's pregnant. And that is how I knew, like, okay, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was shocked at first, but I was excited. Like, this was new. It was me and Jay's first baby together. It was like proof that we were in love. Like, to me, this was like our love child. Like, this baby showed how much we loved each other. And I was excited. I was just really excited.
And what was the pregnancy like overall? Was it tough? Was it just like everything was pretty routine for the most part up until the loss?
I had like a lot of morning sickness. I had, my blood pressure was always like up and down, but they never really diagnosed me with preeclampsia. They just told me that they were watching so that I wouldn't get preeclampsia. Okay. So I was on bed rest from like 3 months up until I had her. And to me, this was the ideal pregnancy. Like, all I had to do is lay in this bed and everything. Like, Jay was waiting on me hand and foot. My son was learning to be more independent because I couldn't do much for him. It was just, to me, it was wonderful. Besides going to the doctor like twice a week, that was the only tough part. But
Yeah.
Everything was going good. Nothing was wrong. Nothing. It was just my blood pressure was always up and down. That was the only concern. But the doctor and I both thought that with me being on bed rest, I'll be okay.
Right. And then, so can you talk to me about like the days leading up to your loss? Like, were there any changes? Like, did anything happen out the blue? Like, how did this all unfold?
So I had a doctor's appointment on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in, and the doctor was just telling me, like, she's in there kicking. She's good. Like, if she comes right now, she'll be fine. Like, she might have to stay at the hospital, but she'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So from Tuesday till Friday, by like Thursday, I was feeling really sick, like nauseous, and I just didn't feel right. And I realized that I hadn't felt her kick. So that weekend, that Saturday, we were supposed to have maternity pictures. So Friday, I was supposed to be like getting out, trying to get dolled up and get ready for pictures the next day. But I said, let me run to the doctor's office just so they can check, and then I'll start my day. So I took my son to school, and then I called the doctor, and they told me I had to go to the hospital because he was delivering a baby. So when we went to the hospital, the nurse couldn't find her heartbeat. So I could tell in her face that she didn't want to scare me, but she said, you might want to call somebody to come here with you. And when she said that, my heart dropped. Like, I knew something was wrong. Yeah. So she called, my doctor came down and he did the ultrasound, and I could tell in his face that something was wrong. And by the time he could say anything, Jay was walking in the door, and he just told us that she didn't have a heartbeat. It was like the worst day of my life.
Did they give you guys any time to just like be alone and process that? Or?
No. The doctor was really just trying to go ahead and, start labor. But I couldn't labor a child all day and know that she's not going to be alive when she comes out. So I asked him to give me a C-section. So we went back, and like all of our family started coming, and for some reason, I just felt like after I went in that C-section surgery and I came out, like she was going to be okay, or like she would cry or something. It just didn't seem real. So they put me to sleep to do the surgery, and it was just amazing because my doctor, like the nurse from his office, she left the office and came to be with us, like she known us. We've been there this whole time, and she came in like regular clothes to be with us, and she stayed with Jay while they did the surgery. And I don't really remember much of that, but Jay told me that like all of the nurses would come out the room crying, like in tears. So they gave the baby to him, and it was just like, because he trusted me enough to give me, like, for me to carry his baby. And then for her to die, it just felt like I failed. Like I had one job. Like I was on bed rest. I didn't have to do anything. Like what happened?
Yeah. I think that's, that's the hardest part, because it's like you don't really get answers. And it's like, even in certain instances, where I've had women come on and their doctors have given them an answer, it's like it still just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I knew it didn't make sense, because the way my doctor was, to see him like in shock, to see that look on his face, like, oh my God, I knew like this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah. What about telling your son? How did you?
I didn't want him to come to the hospital and see me like that. I didn't want him to have to see his sister that he'd been waiting for this whole time, because they let us keep the baby in the room with us,
right,
until we were ready.
And how many weeks were you when you delivered?
28.
28 weeks.
And she was perfect. She was perfect. Like she looked just like Jay. She had pretty hair. Like she was perfect. She was an angel. Like it was like she was just sleeping.
Right.
And I just feel like if I just said something on Tuesday, maybe, I don't know, maybe like even if she had to stay in the hospital for months, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
But to leave the hospital without your baby,
it's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah. I understand. You're bringing me back a little bit right now. But yeah, that it's really, really hard.
Finally, the night when we decided to go ahead and let the funeral home come pick up the body, that's when I asked my mom to bring my son. And that's, when I told him. And he was upset, and I don't think it really hit him yet.
Right.
But now, he understands. Like, that's with all of us. Like, in the hospital, for some reason, we were numb. We didn't cry much, but now, or the days afterwards, like,
yeah. You know what it is? The hospital, in a weird way, it's like this bubble that you're in. So it's like everybody's there protecting you, they're nurturing you, they're loving on you, they're supporting you. So it's like in the hospital, in a weird way, it's like a safe space. But then when you leave and you have to go back to like regular life, and it's like everyone else is just living like nothing happened, and you just want to like shake everybody and be like, but this happened to me,
That is the hardest thing for me now.
Yeah.
Like, to come home to a house full of baby stuff, like, we were ready. My baby could have been born that day, and I could have brought her home, and she would have had everything she needed. She didn't want for anything. We were so ready. We were ready. And to come home to a house full of baby stuff and no baby, or to see that car seat and no baby, like, that is the worst feeling ever. And like, now that everyone was there for us, we had a huge support system,
right?
But like, as the months go by, it's just us again.
Yeah. Because the thing is that,
and it feels like
everyone's like gone back to their regular lives, but you still feel stuck. It feels like it just happened yesterday for you.
It feels like it just happened yesterday. Yeah. When the way I cry for this baby every single day is like the very first day that it happened.
Yeah.
And I just can't let anybody forget about her. Like, I can't. Like, you're always gonna know Lily.
Mm-hmm.
You can't act like she's just gone and that's it. I'm gonna keep my baby, her little memory alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know this is still really, really fresh. So, like, what does your healing journey look like? Your grieving journey. Like, what does it look like for you right now?
For me, the only things that help me is talking about it. And I thought that would be the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about it, crying, writing about it, that is the most, it's like comforting almost.
Yeah.
So I started off, I did like a 30-day photo challenge thing. Mm-hmm. And once I did that 30-day challenge, the way I felt, like, I knew that I have to talk about it. I can't act like it didn't happen.
Right.
I can't protect anybody else's feelings because, a lot of people don't want to hear about that.
Yes.
I can't protect anybody. I have to do this
mm-hmm.
for me. I have to do this for my baby. Mm-hmm. So when we were in the hospital and, the doctor told me it was preeclampsia, mm-hmm. that was the reason why she passed. Mm-hmm. I just felt like I had to do something. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my baby. This ugly, stupid disease killed my baby. Mm-hmm. Like, I have to do something. Mm-hmm. So I contacted the Preeclampsia Foundation, and at that time, there really wasn't much that we could do. But she let me set up a little memorial online where people could donate money for the Preeclampsia Foundation. Mm-hmm. But this year coming up, I'll be able to plan a huge walk for preeclampsia to raise. I'm trying to raise as much money as I can because something has to give, like some kind of education. Like, we need to know about this.
Yeah.
We need to know how to prevent this, what we can do to stop this. Like, because 1 in 4 women, that's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. And, that's why I have, like, this podcast and my support group and all that stuff. Because, when my loss happened, I just felt like I was the only person this happened to. Like, I didn't know anyone who had, lost a child the way I did. My daughter was a micro preemie, so she just showed up one day, like, out the blue. And I don't have any kind of medical anything to give me any indication about why that happened. So, but there are so many babies that are born prematurely, and it's like the main reason for infant deaths, is premature birth. So like you said, it's like this sad thing happens, but it's like all of a sudden you have this like mission that you're on to like spread awareness and save other people and make sure that they don't go through what you're going through. So I definitely want to commend you for that, because it's not easy, especially how fresh it is for you. Like, you know what I mean? You could easily not be doing that right now and nobody would fault you for it. But the fact that you're like, no, like, people need to know about this. Like, there needs to be something done. That is amazing. And I hope you realize how amazing you are and how strong you are for being able to even be in that mindset right now where everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really truly feel like if I don't do anything, if I just sit here and, be sad, cry, depressed every day, like, it's going to get, it's for nothing. Like, but if I'm out here and I'm keeping my baby's name out here and I'm doing something for me that's honoring her, even though it's for, preeclampsia, to me, I'm doing it for her.
Absolutely.
And that's what's helps me get through. Like, I've learned how strong I am. Like, I'm very strong. Yeah. And it's all because of this small little baby who never even took a breath in this world. Like, she changed my life.
I was going to ask you, that was actually going to be my next question. I was going to ask you, what's the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself from this? But
just, you always think, when before a tragedy, you always think like, oh, this was the toughest thing I had to go through, or this was the hard. I thought that so many little things were gonna break me, but I lost a whole baby. Like, I lost a child.
Yeah.
And I feel like nothing in this world could ever break me. Like, I've gone through the greatest hurt that anyone could ever experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I have learned how strong I am. I've learned that yeah.
I definitely relate to that, because it's like now I just feel like I can do anything. Like, I don't feel like anything is hard. You know what I mean? It's like nothing can, like, what's gonna break me now? Like, if someone's like talking about me, or I'm having a hard day because of whatever, it's just like, it's just like, yo, like, this is not even a big deal. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, same like you, like, I've had to hold my deceased child. There's nothing that is going to be harder than that, period,
at all,
ever in my life.
There is nothing nothing that anyone can say or do. I'm telling you, like, you cannot break me. I have been broken. I have been shattered. There's no way that anyone could ever break me.
So what are you doing in terms of, like, taking care of you? I know you're on a mission to help other people, but are you in therapy? Do you go to groups? Like, what are you doing for you right now?
I cannot go to therapy for some reason. It's kind of like a personal, I just feel like me talking about this and doing things on my own is what's helping me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I need therapy. I think I talk about it and tell this story so much, and I'm on a mission for this baby. And I mean, I don't know, maybe after all of this is said and done, I'll probably need a little bit of counseling, but right now I need to do this for my baby, and that's the only thing that's helping me get through.
Okay. And then so your day-to-day now, you said, like, your son is starting to get it. Like, how do you continue? Because I've never had to deal with that, because Jolie was my first, so I didn't have any other living children at the time. So how do you still be present for your son while still having this heavy grief that you're having to deal with? Like, how do you function?
You have no choice. Like, the same way I feel about Lily is the same way I feel about Sam. Like, they're my babies. I would do anything for either one of them. And I have to keep going. I have to be strong. I have to move, get through this for Sam. And right now he's at that age where he's into video games and he doesn't pay me any attention. So I do get a lot of time to cry to myself. But for my son, when he sees his mom, he sees strength. He knows that.
And what about your relationship with Jay? How has that changed since?
Me and Jay, it kind of brought us closer. Just going through that together, and him seeing me at my weakest, and me seeing him for the first time ever, broken, it brought us closer. We're in a good spot right now, a really good spot. I love him. I appreciate him for everything. Even though my baby is not here, I still appreciate him for giving me that baby. Like, that to me was a huge blessing. And I would always feel like, gosh, this man really trusted me, enough for me to carry his baby. So me and Jay, we're good. I love him. We're still getting on each other's nerves.
That's normal. So I was saying, I feel like you have, like, a lot that you want to do in honor of your daughter. Like, what does your big picture look like? Like, when you think about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like, what her legacy looks like in the physical form? Like, what do you see? What do you want to create for her?
So when I lost Lily, I just went on Facebook and told everybody, Lily's passed away. And so many women inbox me and they told me like, oh my God, I went through this. Oh my God, you know, I lost a baby. And we live in a small town. I never knew that so many people went through this.
Mm-hmm.
So my child now, I feel like, and I might be wrong, but I feel like my baby, her death has brought light to this. I don't even know the right word, but so many people are able to talk about it now.
Yeah.
Here, and with this promise walk and me every day, you know, doing things online and telling them I'm doing it for Lily. Like, I just feel like we're going to be able to talk about it. We're going to be able to open our mouths, show our babies pictures. You know, we can be proud of our kids just like anybody else. Like, our babies are gone, but they're still our babies.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next 5 years, I hope I'm on the 5th annual Promise Walk, and more people are able to talk about it. I hope I can be some kind of support, some kind of strength. If somebody can look at me and say, you know, yeah, I'm going through this, but she overcame, she's pushing forward.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do the same. Yeah. I just hope that I can motivate, you know, some mommy, because it's hard when nobody wants to hear about your baby. They don't want to see a picture of a dead baby. Mm-hmm. They, you know, they're going to be sorry for you at first, and then they're going to forget all about it. Like, I want people to be open.
Yeah, I could definitely see you bringing a lot of people together in that way, and bringing your community together, because like you said, you know, and just in general, just, you know, like losing a baby in whatever form, it's still such a taboo subject. Like, people don't really want to, like, you don't know what happens to like anybody until it happens to you, and then it's like all of a sudden people come out, you know, even people you wouldn't have expected, people you talk to all the time that you just had no idea, and they just didn't feel comfortable. So, you know, again, I applaud you for just like bringing this to light, like sharing it in your community. And I mean, who knows who you're really helping?
Right.
You never know. So,
and that's a big thing for me, is like, you never know who's watching you. You never know who you're inspiring or who you're helping. And that's, I hope that I could be some kind of inspiration to anybody, just one person.
Are. I
hope so.
You already are.
I hope so.
I mean, again, like, you're this is 7 months ago this happened, and look how much you're doing already.
Yeah. It's amazing, and as I keep going forward and accomplish a little bit, it makes me feel so good about my baby. And we got the mayor of Beaufort, who's going to proclaim May as Preeclampsia Awareness Day, and just like the whole month of May will be Preeclampsia Awareness, and I did that for my baby. Like, that's an amazing feeling.
That is amazing. Like, I wish I had like a studio audience so we could like
so we can clap, right? Yeah, it is huge. It's really big. It's exciting. It's exciting. And like, my little baby, like, she's so small, 3 pounds, but she's making an impact in this town, and I love it. Like, I always say, like, she's just like her mom. She's a star.
I mean, what advice to the mom who is like you, who is still fresh, it still feels like it happened an hour ago? What advice would you give to her to keep her pushing forward?
Cry. Don't let anybody tell you to stop crying. Don't let anybody tell you it's going to be okay, or don't let anybody tell you everything happens for a reason. You cry, you scream, you talk about it, you show off your baby, show off their baby's pictures. You just like you would do with a newborn baby, you do that with your baby. I'm serious, because that is like, people really try to shut you up when you lose a baby, but you don't let them. Don't let anybody shut you up. Don't let anybody shut you down. You keep going for that baby. If you have to cry every day, cry.
Let it out.
Don't let anybody stop you from grieving.
I love that. That because grief is so important. You know, it's not something we want to deal with, but it is the body's natural reaction to loss.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
grieving is important. It's important to go through all of the stages. Like we can't skip any stage and think that we can like bypass it and get through it faster. It's important to take your time, go through the process, and just, you know, feel every emotion that comes with grief because it's important. You know,
and don't let anybody stop you. You know, I really, the things that really bothered me were when people would say like, oh, it'll be okay. Like, cause no, it won't be okay. 7 months later, I'm still feeling like that very first day. It's not going to be better. I'm in so many angel mommy groups, and there are ladies in there who've had kids 18 years ago who are still grieving like me. Like, you know, so it'll never get better. But you get over how you want to get over. Don't let anybody tell you how.
Yeah. Well, I won't say it won't get, I mean, you'll be able to deal with it better as time goes on.
Yeah.
But the important thing is that it's always going to be there.
It's always going to be there.
But you will be, as time goes on, it will be a little, not easier, but you figure out a way how to like channel those emotions in different ways, you know, because like, you know, like me, my daughter's 6th birthday passed this summer. And I feel like this was like the hardest birthday for me, even though it's been 6 years, you know? Right. So like you said, the feeling, you never stop grieving.
Never.
But my grief looks different today than it did 6 years ago, you know?
Right.
But of course, there's still some dates, like, you know, of course, like the birthdays or like, you know, dates they passed away, or, you know, for some people, it's still their due date. Just there's certain time, you know, holidays.
Yeah.
There's certain,
and holidays are very rough.
Holidays are tough. So there's definitely certain times of the year where your body is just going to go through it. Like you don't even know why it's happening, but your body knows that it's time for you to do this, and it's just going to come out, and you got to let it come out. So I definitely agree with you. You know, let the tears flow.
Yeah, you have to do what's best for you, man. Yeah. Just when, you know, when we were in the hospital and we lost her, I was calling everybody like, you know, cancel the DJ, cancel the venue. We're not having the baby shower. And then I stopped. And I said, no, we're going to have this memorial for my baby. She's not here, but I'm still going to memorialize my baby. So the day that we had our baby shower, we got together with family and friends. We had a memorial dinner. It was just like a baby shower. Wow. Nobody is ever going to ever forget my baby. And I put that on everything. Yeah. No matter, as long as I'm here, Lily J will be here.
Absolutely. And she's living through you, and together you ladies are doing amazing things. Amazing.
Thank you.
So Tamara, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so proud of you.
Like, thank you so much.
7 months after my daughter passed away, I was not like you in terms of how strong I was. Like I was stuck in the shock part of my grief for a really long time, and stuck in the depression part for a really long time, you know? So kudos to you. And, you know, thank you for being brave enough to share your story with us. Thank you for everything you're doing in your town. Like you are, you know, changing somebody's life right now. You might not know it today. You know, maybe they haven't shared that with you today, but I'm sure as time goes on, you are going to meet people who are just going to be like, listen, like I was going through this and I saw your story somewhere, or, you know, I saw you at the walk, or I went to your walk, or I saw you on a podcast, something, and you helped me to get through today, or something like, you know, things like that. So,
and that's my goal.
Yeah, like you said, keep sharing your story, keep talking, keep helping, and
I will
keep her name alive, because she is here for a reason, you know. Although she's not physically here, she's still here with you, and together you guys are gonna do amazing things, and are already doing amazing things. So keep going.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.